Hey guys, welcome back to the CarTool YouTube channel. For this video, we're going to do another little product review of this Mr. CarTool Smoke Diagnostic Leak Detector. This was an item they sent to me for free to do a review on. So, of course, we all appreciate that, so we can bring you some new products, show you how they work and what we think of them. So if you have any kind of leak on your car, this thing will show you where it's at. And what it does is you put either mineral oil or baby oil in it. It burns it, creating smoke, and then it pushes that smoke into whatever system you are checking, whether it be an exhaust leak, a fuel leak, a vacuum leak, anything that's supposed to be an enclosed system, and the smoke is going to come out wherever your leak is, so it tells you what needs to be fixed, repaired, etc., etc. Really neat item. Let's open it up, see what all this thing comes with. And then we're going to go test it out. So, the actual unit itself, there we go. See, Mr. CarTool T10. It's got power LED here. And smoking on that side. A couple of gauges. The handle, we got the outlet there. It is 12 volt DC. It comes with clamps to hook it up to your battery. Show you all the stuff we have here. The hook, obviously, to go on. Oops, sorry, you guys didn't see that. Let me back you up a little bit. Let me back you up, guys. Just a little bit. Okay. Got the hook, obviously, goes right up here, attached to the machine. Little bottle, I'm assuming, for the oil. Got the plug with a hose on it. Let's see, it's a bunch of different little accessories we'll figure out as we go. Another different type of fitting you can add. Here are your clamps. Handles are plastic. It's unfortunate. It'd be nice if they were made out of metal. The wire's kind of thin too, but see how that goes. Got the blood pressure cuff, kind of, so we can create our seal. That's a workout. Bet nurses have strong grips. What else we got in here? Another type of hose with a fitting on the end. That probably goes on the end of the machine. A bunch of different rubber plugs of all different sizes, obviously depending on what you're doing with it. And then some, looks like, no, those are rubber too. They look like plastic. Little rubber plugs there too. Different sizes for different items. Most important thing for me is the manual. We got to find out how much oil we put in this thing. I saw when I was glancing at the instructions, it has an automatic shutoff so it won't overheat the system or anything, and a couple other little features we'll talk about. So, looking at some of the setup instructions, things I wanted to point out because I'm not going to remember all these numbers, but it says when you use the detector for the first time, please fill 20 to 30 milliliters of oil, not beyond this range. Fresh oil can be filled with only when the smoke is light. I'm assuming it means like not much smoke is coming out, or it stops producing smoke, seems like the interpretation there. And it cannot be filled over 15 milliliters every time. So your initial would be 20 to 30, and then anytime after that you're only going to do 15. And it says before filling fresh oil, please pour out the remaining oil in the detector. Replace oil regularly. So, a couple other noteworthy things from the instructions. It says it'll automatically turn off when it gets too hot or whatever. It's only going to work for 8 minutes at a time. So expect around the 8-minute mark to when it'll shut itself off. And when it does that, don't be dicking around trying to get it to come back on. Let it cool down. And this side's going to get hot. That's the other thing it says. It says, prevent scalding. Don't touch that side. Got it. Okay, so we need to hook this thing up a little bit now and get it all ready for its maiden voyage. Hopefully it's not like the Titanic, where the What was the other one? It wasn't its maiden voyage. What was it? The Lusitania? I don't know. Ignore me. So there's where we're going to put our oil once we get outside. We got our hose hooked up with the little smoky knob. Got my baby oil. We got to fill this thing up. And my first thoughts were, it comes with this little squirt bottle guy. And I don't know how really important these numbers are of 20 to 30 milliliters the first fill up and then 15 thereafter. But this has no markings on it. That doesn't tell me anything. And there was nothing here to measure out. So I found a little Delsum cup. And we're going to put it in here. But I guess I can pour it directly into the machine. There's no point in pouring it in this and then pouring it in that. It'd be difficult enough getting this to pour. Yeah. So that doesn't do me any good as far as I'm concerned. But let's put in. This goes up to 10 milliliters right there is the top mark. So I'm going to do 3 of those and pump them in there. And as you guys should know, there will be links down below, both to the Mr. CarTool, and I guess I can link you guys to baby oil, although I think you can figure that out on your own. I hope. It's 10, bottoms up. Hey! Yeah, this is difficult to pour in there. This is going to make a mess. It sure would be nice if this was not white, but it was clear and it had markings on it, because then I could easily just go, whoop, and fill it in. So, alright guys, that is going to be 30 milliliters. Oh shit, it spilled a little bit. Cap it off. Come on, fool. There we go. The first thing I want to do to test this is test it on a closed system that doesn't have any leaks. So I'm just going to use this hose here. Let's see, you can't get the whole thing in there. I put one of the red caps on this side. It's not a real tight fit. We'll see if it stays on or if it pops off. But these are also all labeled with their size. It says 14. Another one said 3/8, I think. So you got different sizes and they all got numbers on it. But I want to fill this up and I want to show you guys what happens when there is no leak. Looking at the pressure gauge and such. And then we're going to make it leak and you'll see obviously the smoke comes out where it leaks. Out in the spick and span garage, about to hook up the clamps to the battery. We have to hook them up to my Caprice. One thing you might have a problem with, if you have an abnormal vehicle, my Corvette, the battery's behind the seat. You got about 4 feet here. Obviously that is going to run into problems, so you'll have to come up with another power source. But we're going to hook these up and get smoking. Smoke them if you got them. Hope I can show you guys the business end here, but it's going to take all of the cord that we got. Alright, let's get you guys a little bit closer. Look at that, we're smoking. Well, not literally, but I hit the button, I mean. There we go. See a little smoke starting to come out. And you can see the pressure building up on the gauge when I plug it. Building, building, building. It's really hard to see on camera, maybe. There we go. Smoking it up. Doesn't smell very good. So let's fill up our little tube. It's probably 5-foot tube here. And with any luck, we'll see a little bit of pressure build up on the gauge on the top. Oh! Pressure built up alright, it blew off the other end. I knew that wasn't on very tight. Oh yeah, we're smoking now. So you're going to be able to find a leak when you got something like that. We can stop that now. That's enough smoke, right? That's got to be good for your lungs. So we're at the Corvette, and just a couple of things you can check with the smoke machine like this. You got a vacuum leak, we can pull the line off the brake booster, hook it up there. If we had a fuel leak, of course there's all sorts of points. We can hook it up, see where we're leaking fuel at, hook it up to a heater hose. We want to check for a coolant leak. All sorts of stuff, guys. Any enclosed system, we can just add a little smoke, see where it's leaking, easily fix the problem. Don't be sucking on this, though. It ain't a vape deal, Bob thing. There it is, guys. The Mr. CarTool T110 smoke diagnostic leak detector. See, it works really good. Pumps out a lot of smoke. I never had to fill it back up. Just the initial time you guys saw me do it, it pumped out a ton of smoke. Definitely be sure to have a well-ventilated area when you do it. It worked great. The only thing I would like is, I wish there was a little bit better clamps here. These are pretty cheap plastic clamps here, and it'd be nice to have some metal ones or something a little bit that I felt more durable. Also, the cord, like I said, I think is about 4 feet, and for your typical applications, that's probably fine. But for instance, with my Corvette, I had to take the battery out of another car because there's no useful way to such a short cord to get to the back seat. So I know that's an anomaly, that's not normal, but that is a problem that I ran into. Otherwise, it worked great. It's a really useful tool, and I'll put a link down below if anyone is interested. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to give the video a like, subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and I'll see you next time.